Welcome, Namaste and Aloha. We come now to the closing section of the second chapter of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, verses 23 through 34. The opening verses of this chapter gave us the goal that loving devotion to the Lord is the supreme Dharma, and that the absolute truth shows itself in three features. The middle verses gave us the road by which the heart is purified. Today's 12 verses complete the chapter by addressing two practical questions. Among the many forms we might worship, which is truly worthy of our love, and what is the relationship between the Lord and the universe he has manifested? Section 1. The three modes and three forms. Verse 23 opens with the Bhagavatam's first detailed description of cosmic architecture. Suta says the transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas, goodness, passion, and ignorance. For the purposes of creation, maintenance, and dissolution, he accepts three qualitative forms: Brahma, who oversees creation through passion; Vishnu, who maintains the cosmos through goodness; and Shiva, who presides over dissolution through ignorance. The verse then says something striking. Of these three, all human beings can derive the ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of goodness. Prabhupada explains this carefully. The material world is described as a kind of correction house where conditioned souls work out their attachments and learn slowly to remember their true home. Brahma builds the structure, Shiva eventually dissolves it, Vishnu is the one who offers release. While all three serve the cosmic plan, only one of them is in the business of taking us home. Section 2. The ladder of the modes. Verse 24 gives us a beautiful image to illustrate why goodness is essential to spiritual progress. Suta says, firewood is a transformation of earth, but smoke is better than the raw wood, and fire is better still, for from fire we derive the benefits of Vedic sacrifice. In just the same way, passion is better than ignorance, but goodness is best, because by goodness alone can one come to realize the absolute truth. This is one of the most practical verses in the chapter. It tells us that the modes are not abstractions. They are the actual texture of our daily consciousness. Tamas is the heaviness, the inertia, the dullness that pulls us towards sleep, addiction, and indifference. Rajas is the fire of ambition, the chase, the perpetual motion of desire. Sattva is calm, clarity, generosity, the natural disposition toward truth. Prabhupada makes clear that one can rise from any platform. The sincere seeker, even one beginning in Tamas, can be lifted by the direction of a spiritual master, from sleep to ambition, from ambition to clarity, from clarity to the realization of the Absolute. Section 3. The wisdom of the great sages. Verse 25 tells us that previously all the great sages of every age rendered service unto the personality of Godhead, who is above the three modes. They worshipped him to become free from material conditions, and whoever follows in their footsteps becomes equally eligible for liberation. Verse 26 is direct. Those serious about liberation are non-envious. They respect all beings, but they reject the worship of fearsome forms and turn instead to the all-blissful forms of Vishnu and his plenary expansions. The verse uses the word anasuyava, free from envy. The serious seeker is not condemning anyone. He is simply honest about what he is seeking. He wants liberation, and only Vishnu, the verse says, can grant liberation. The demigods can offer temporary blessings, but not freedom from birth and death itself. Verse 27 explains who worships the lower forms. Those in the modes of passion and ignorance worship those in the same category, the forefathers, other living beings, the demigods who oversee cosmic functions, urged by desires for wealth, power, and progeny. The motto of the Bhagavata life is simple: work honestly, worship the Supreme Lord, accept what comes, direct everything toward the goal. Section 4, the Supreme Conclusion. Now we arrive at one of the most quoted couplets in all of devotional literature, verses 28 and 29. These two verses together form a sweeping declaration about the meaning of every spiritual discipline. In the revealed scriptures, Suta says, The ultimate object of knowledge is Vasudeva, Sri Krishna. The purpose of sacrifice is to please him. Yoga is for realizing him. All fruitive activities are ultimately rewarded by him. All austerities are performed to know him. Religion itself is rendering loving service unto him. He is the supreme goal of life. This is the Bhagavatam's way of unifying every legitimate path. The yogi in his cave, the scholar with his texts, the householder offering his daily fire, the mystic enduring austerity, the saint in loving service. They are all, knowingly or unknowingly, walking toward the same destination, Vasudeva, Krishna, the personal Lord who is the source of everything. Section 5, the Lord and the Cosmos. The final 5 verses, 30 through 34, then move from the question of worship to the deeper question of cosmology. How is the Lord related to this material world we see around us? Verse 30 says that in the beginning of creation, the Lord, while remaining always in his transcendental position, created the energies of cause and effect through his own internal energy. He is not a part of the cosmic process. He is the source of it. He is all spiritual. Verse 31 makes a beautiful observation. After creating the material substance, the Lord expands himself and enters into it. And though he appears to be within the modes of nature, he remains fully transcendental. The verse points to the famous Vedic image of 2 birds in a single tree. One bird eats the fruit, the other simply watches. The eating bird is the conditioned soul, lost in the experiences of the body. The watching bird is the Lord, the Paramatma, the eternal friend who accompanies us through every life, witnessing without interfering, ever ready to be remembered. Verse 32 extends this. Just as fire pervades wood, hidden but always present, the Lord pervades all things. He's one without a second, yet appears as many, and he's realized through oral reception by hearing the transcendental message from the proper source. Verse 33 describes the Paramatma's quiet presence within the conditioned soul. The supersoul enters the bodies of created beings and helps them experience the effects of the modes through the subtle mind. There are 8,400,000 species, and in every body, the Lord is present, witnessing, supporting, gently inviting the soul to remember its true position. Verse 34 closes this chapter. The Lord of the universes maintains all planets inhabited by demigods, humans, and lower animals. And, assuming the roles of incarnations, he performs pastimes to reclaim those in the mode of pure goodness. The avatars, the descents of the Lord, exist for one reason, to call us home. Now let us bring this into our own lives. For younger generations, these verses speak to the spiritual confusion of our time. We live in an age where every philosophy, every guru, every tradition competes for our attention. The Bhagavatam says, look carefully at what each path actually offers. The fearsome forms can give intensity. The cosmic functionaries can give temporary boons. But only the personal Lord can give what you actually want, which is liberation, the end of inner restlessness, the recovery of your true home. For elder generations, these verses are perhaps even more direct. You have lived long enough to know that every other path narrows. The investments in name, fame, family, even in religious accomplishment, none of these reach all the way home. The Bhagavatam says here, with the authority of every realized seer who has ever walked this earth, that there is one path that does, loving service to the Supreme Person. A path that begins now, in the heart, in the company of those who already love him. The chapter ends with a vision of the Lord seated in every heart, present in every atom, pervading every form, yet always transcendental. He is the witnessing bird in the tree of every life. He is the fire hidden in the wood of every body. He is the goal of every austerity, the meaning of every sacrifice, the destination of every path. This is the Architecture Suttas given us in chapter 2, the goal in the opening verses, the road in the middle. And here in the closing 12, the Supreme Person himself, who is the source, the goal, and the constant companion of every soul on the journey home. Thanks, Namaste and Mahalo.